If I were you, I would start putting in your request. If I was anybody out there besides myself, because I'm already putting in my request, it can't be any clearer what Trump is saying, who he's playing out in the Bible, where he's playing it out at, all of his little catchphrases and trick words. ISIS, meaning us, Christ, people with Christ in our heart, because we are a problem. We are causing havoc. We are terrorizing people in other countries, and we need to be taken down. And us on the internet, ICE us, we are influencing the children in schools. So they can't have this. We are the two witnesses. It's us. It's everybody with the Holy Spirit. You guys are two witnesses in one. When we are finished with our testimony, you'll see that our dead bodies will be lying in the streets of that great city, because on TV they're going to show other countries our dead bodies lying in the streets for 3.5 days, and then after 3.5 days, which is 7 days, the breath of life enters into us, ice us, and then a great fear falls upon everybody. The elite, great fear falls upon them. But at the same time, the 7,000 will be slain, and then the remnant will be affrighted, which is the elite. It's not us. We're not. I mean, think about it. 144,000 are not afraid. So that doesn't even line up with being affrighted. Why would you be affrighted if you already know what's going on? You already believe in God. You already believe that this script is being played out. We're not the ones being frightened. Trump is the one that's frightened. I mean, these guys are playing this out as much as possible. They are scared to death of us. And sometimes it's like, I understand to an extent, because, well, I'm not on the other end, so I don't know really how. I try to put myself in their position. Not believing in God, but hearing people talk about their script and unraveling it, and then just telling them what they're going to do before they do it, and tell them what they're going to say before they say it. I would be very nervous if I was them. So I guess technically I kind of can get it. But when Trump says that the remnant are very dangerous, because there's a small remnant that here's the deal. They already know the mass majority, at least 90% of America, is going to flee. They've already done studies on, you see the people, like even AMTV, Christopher Green, talks about, he does like a breakdown on one of his videos where how 90% of the people are going to go here, or 50% of people are going to go this way, and 40% of people are going to go over there, and it's going to be 10% that aren't going to listen. It's like they already have the breakdown. They know that the remnant are not going anywhere. The remnant are staying right there. The power you have is to stay still. So they're really concerned about the people that, not only the 144,000, but, gung-ho Americans that aren't willing to let go of their guns, and they don't know any better. They just think that this is how the world is, this is how it's going to be, and they don't have any faith in God or understanding that he's going to stop it. They might have faith, they just don't have understanding. So they can't understand that God's going to just, look, let's say this is how it is. It's raining, it's fog, smug, right? And then when God is done, even though it'll be dark, but the example is when God's finished, it's just zzz, and then here comes the sun, and it's going to be all right. But not everybody understands it until it happens, and you know, not really anybody understands that until it happens. How do I know? I'm just going by my gut feeling. That's all I can really tell you. I'm going by my gut feeling. There's nothing to fear whatsoever. Not that. I mean, if anything, there should be more laughter going on right now. If you understand, yeah, when you begin to understand the mystery that I'm straight up telling you, and I'm not trying to say when you begin to understand. I'll just tell you. That way you can understand clearly. You can at least understand where I'm coming from, and that I am telling people you're going to regret. You're going to regret if you don't say something now, because when more people are on board, you know what I mean? Like, come on board the ark here. When more people are on board, the more they get frightened and give glory to God. The more people are on board, which is, come on board. I promise, okay? I promise that my understanding is clear. God is going to put an end to it. He's just using us as his mouthpiece. He did it many times before with Aaron and Moses, the two witnesses, representing two witnesses, striking the rod down, sending those 7 plagues. I believe it was 7, maybe 10. I don't remember. But he kept sending the plagues because God gave them the information, told them to say this. This is exactly what he's doing now. Just by reading the Bible and comprehending what they're doing, God talks to you that way. And for me, he's given me this information, and I'm saying it because it's going to happen. That way, before it happens, the elite know who's responsible for saying it. And then when it comes to pass, the elite will know that I was getting the correct information from the creator of the universe. So the more people that put in their request for what they want, number one, it's just, I want you guys to share. That is number one. What happens when they share? Oh my God, the entire world changes. The entire world changes. They're not going to share at this moment. They are getting nervous. They will have their victory. They will silence us. They will pray to their gods, you know, the wooden images and whatnot, that they'll pray to their gods that nothing happens, that I'm wrong, but I'm not. So just think about it. Whoever does videos, right? I mean, some of you, I won't even know. I won't even know if you did a video or not. But to put in your request now for what you want, but also backing the understanding of how God's going to do it. But again, I don't expect anybody to do it because I'm saying it. And who am I besides just another Joe Schmo in the earth, that out of 7.67 billion people, I'm just another person. And however, I'm just telling you what I see very clearly. And I see that when people start putting in their request, look, you guys are going to get what you want. I've learned something over this past year and some change and a half and almost 2, that, and I've said it in plenty of videos, I got what I wanted. I got what I deserved. I asked for this. I asked for all this. I asked for people's numbers, and I got them. I asked to find out the truth, and boy, did I find out the truth. I wondered, I asked God, like, what is it? Clinging with flatters, like, what did they... Well, hey, thanks, God. I got what I asked for. And it's just going to continue on. I've been speaking things into existence since I started this channel. And at the time, it's like, I didn't realize, I thought there was more people like me. I thought there was more people that thought just like I did, and it was no big deal. And I'm just thinking other people are saying the same thing, and I realized, well, no, they're not. I mean, you might be thinking it, but saying it on air, I don't hear much of it. I've heard a few people, but in general, no, thank God I opened my mouth. I mean, because how else would the elite know? Again, I don't know who else is saying this. I just have a feeling nobody is. I have a feeling nobody has the same exact complete ideas that I have. And other people, we all have different gifts, and this one's mine. Other people have other gifts, and the elite know that. So the elite know more than me when it comes to who I even am. And that's the thing. That's why I'm saying, like, Steve and Trump, that ram's horn, you know, they're especially Trump is saying the same things that I'm saying about the end of us being taken advantage of. He's literally sitting, I swear he's sitting in my seat. He's saying all this good stuff, but I know what he means by it. He's saying what people want to hear, and he's saying exactly what I need to hear, because I'm reading straight through the lines and interpreting exactly what he's saying. And that's exactly what you're saying, Trump, and you know it, and so do you, Steve. You just both know it. And that's the best part about it. I know it, and you two guys know it, and your colleagues. And then you see how I've acted towards being attacked, hated, threatened, my life, and you know, being sued, and you're gonna come see me and all this crap. Do I look scared? So, because this will come to pass, and lo, it will come to pass, once that does happen, well, look, what other better person to put in office than me? Because I'm still going to show you guys love anyway, even though you guys just literally want to cut my head off. You guys hate my guts, but yet you still fear to an extent, because I'm not just saying shit off the, pulling it out of my ass and just throwing it at the wall, you know, like pile of shit, and see if it sticks. And what doesn't stick, it falls off and slides down, and I'm hot or cold. But I'm using my head, and I'm thinking clearly. No matter what you do, you can't clog my pineal gland. And my information comes straight from God. And there's quite a few things that have already happened exactly the way I said that they would, because it's just information I got beforehand. So when I am elected, one of the elect, because even if possible, the very elect could be deceived. I was deceived. But we are the ones that are elected into office by God. And once that happens, well, you've already seen that nothing phases me. Nothing. Even with people knocking down my door and grabbing me and the threat of killing me. Look, this happened before. I've already done this. I know I've already done this. I don't have proof, but I know I've already done this. I've already been in this situation before. I've already been thrown into the lion's den. I've been thrown into the fire. Not one hair on my head was singed. That's not how I lost my hair. Because this fire that is representing these days is the fake fire from heaven show. Being thrown into the lion den is representing being thrown right into where SJD is and shutting the lion's mouth. Because God is the one that shuts the lion's mouth. his words will shut your mouth, Steve. And I know you don't like hearing it, but I don't care. You need to hear it. So once that happens, because I'm already speaking these things into existence, I already have the understanding that this is how it's going to happen. So I'm just setting up my kingdom. I'm setting up my future. And once you set up everything with sharing, number one, sharing, everything else just falls into line. It'll take some time to get things all situated, but there's a direction that we're going to go. It's over here. The direction's over here. It's not what we're seeing on the mainstream media. It's not what Steve is saying. Of course they're confident. They're just as confident as I am. But there's a main difference here. I'm a faithful man. They are unfaithful. It is a time of trouble. And I'm in a time of trouble, and Trump's building a wall in troublous times, and it's not a real wall. It's just a wall of deception. It's the wall, the screen up in the sky. It's the wall of the army compassing the camp of the saints surrounding us. It's the surveillance, the stalking on Steve's end. So how salty are you people going to be if you don't speak up now, and then you see exactly what I'm saying happens? If you don't speak up now, look, do you want, here's the deal. If anybody can understand that, if you had the feeling like, okay, look, this is it, they're literally going to kill us. Like, if you can read between the lines and you see what they're doing, you can tell what Trump's saying, and you know he's coming against us, you know all those, look, they're all liars. Steve does the same thing. That's why I have so much understanding as to what Trump is saying, because they are the same. They're both the same. As above, so below. It's oh my God. I mean, it's mind-blowing easy is what it is. So I just have to accept it. Okay, God, I accept it. You put me here. If anybody else is saying it to the elite, great. If not, okay, well, then I'm the only one. But being the only one is not such a bad thing, because my heart's in the right place, and I will make sure when I am in charge, I will make sure, trust me, I will make sure that everybody gets taken care of. That's everybody in the world. That's 7 billion plus people, 7.7 billion people. I'm going to make sure that they spread the wealth to everybody. So don't be surprised if you see my face on TV. I wouldn't be surprised the least bit. If anything, if I'm not on TV, I'm behind the scenes, and I'm the one telling them what to say now. I'm the one telling Trump what to say, instead of the elite giving him the script of the evil things of what to say. Then it's my turn to tell him what to say. But I have this feeling that, because, you know, Steve's still going to be in charge, Trump's still going to be in charge. It's just that what they're saying is going to be different, because right now the elite are giving them the scripts and telling them what to say. And I have a feeling Steve is kind of more higher up even than Trump, where he actually has more say when it comes to script writing, because of the gematria. That's why they think like he has this special power when he doesn't. He's just another man that's listening to Satan. That's it. So when all this happens, I mean, look, timelines. April 7th, the collapse of the economy for real. The entire thing. The Abomination of Desolation set up. The daily sacrifice taken away. April 7th, and then 45 days from that point on, May 21st, 22nd. And that's exactly the 7th full year going into the 8th, going into perdition, which is for the next 10 days. April 7th already happened last year. The wars and rumors of wars, that is my golden ticket. It just is. I mean, that's why do you think I mention it all the time? I remind the elite That is my golden ticket, because that was a dead-on, nailed-down prediction before it happened that war will start April 7th. 365 days later, hey, look, I don't mind being exactly 365 days ahead of time, because I said that the Abomination of Desolation will be set up on April 7th of 2018. And that's what it was according to the Obama script. According to Steve's script, it's this year, because the money is the daily sacrifice to him, not to me. My daily sacrifice was taken away over 7 years ago, almost, October 22nd, 2011. The second seal was opened up and the first woe passed. That was the first woe. When you see, well, the 30-day period, September 15th, 16th, until the end of winter. Pray that your flight's not in the winter on the Sabbath. That's a 30-day period. Trump's already been talking about the number 3, the number 4, the number 30, the number 40, the 304,000 jobs, the 3%, the 40%, the 33%, 44%. Just everything is about 3 and 4 right now. He's going to start talking about daily. He's going to start talking about sacrifice. He's going to start talking about abominations. He's going to start saying those words next. Once the 30-day period is up, we're going into the 40 days, or even going into the next 17 days. 17 representing the gathering into the kingdom of God, kingdom of heaven. He's going to start talking mainly about sacrifices and daily. Trust me. I'll catch the clips. Trust me. And I'll make sure I make a note down at the bottom of the description here on this channel that look for Trump to start saying daily sacrifice. And so when all this stuff happens, right, when you can see that it's going this way, and you know that Trump is planning on killing all of us, rounding us up, what do you have to lose? What do you have to lose besides just speaking up? We're already going to die, right? I mean, that's the way the script is. I've already accepted that fact that it's possible, and you know, but I've already also accepted the fact that Daniel, in the first year of the reign of King Darius, and the third year of the reign of King Cyrus, a thing was revealed unto Daniel, and he understood the number of years determined by the desolation of Jerusalem with Jeremiah the prophet, and he had interpreted the king's dreams, and he gained favor that way. So isn't there the spirit of Daniel these days in people? Is it just in me, or is it in all of you? I would like to think that it's in all of us, and we're all going to stand up and rise up and say it. The more, the merrier. But if not, hey, look, I'll be glad to take the responsibility and say it. So establishing their vision, no, it's gonna come to an end. Establishing God's vision, that's gonna happen. We're just speaking it now into existence, because God has given you the information. You speak it, it'll happen, and heaven does come down from on earth. As it is in heaven, so shall it be on earth. As above, so below. So, won't you be salty if you don't put in your request now? Like, in other words, standing up, speaking about it, believing in it, because what else do you have to lose if you believe that Trump is really trying to eliminate the population, which he is? Okay, then good. Then you got nothing to lose. Just speak up. What kind of house do you want? Where do you want to live? What kind of vehicle do you want dropped off at your front doorstep? What type of animals do you want? You know, what land, what piece of land have you always wanted? What kind of, like, if you can imagine, and this isn't some kind of delusion. The strong delusion was sent on Satan's people, Trump and them. That's the strong delusion. They're looking at us like, oh man, yeah, okay, Robin, wait, just keep on dreaming, you filthy dreamer. I have good dreams. I sleep very good at night. If anything, it's hard to wake up because I sleep very comfortably. I know my sleep's going to be interrupted soon, but only for a short period of time. And I'm going as comfortable as possible when it's time to go. Because you guys need to listen. You guys need to see when God flicks the switch. We have to be face to face. You guys have to see the look on our faces, the countenance on our face as this happens. So speak up, people. Or don't. I mean, it's up to you. I would really just, myself, I would feel very salty if I didn't say anything, and when it happens the way I've visualized it, I would be extremely salty, because I would be saying, like, oh my God, I knew this was going to happen. And then, but nobody would know me. Nobody would know who I am. The elite wouldn't have any clue who's responsible for this, and that God has literally told people on earth. At least he told me. I am listening, and I could see it, and it's going to happen. So yes, I would be extremely salty that I didn't say anything, and then after 10 days, it's like, after complete darkness, all of a sudden the sky opens up, and nobody, like the other 7 billion people are going to think, they're going to think like everything was just God in the first place. I think that's what they're going to believe, because they're deceived by the deception in the sky. And then after that, after the 10-day period that God's done with all the electronics for now, until they, well, it's probably after 3 days, and then 7 days are going to pass by. It's something like that. But after the 7 days passes by, and the elite get a chance to stop doing their drug, you know, like referring to us again. Everything that they're referring to is us. The drug, they're going to stop doing their drug, and they're 7 times going to pass over, and they're going to understand who God truly is. And so yeah, I don't want to stay, I don't want to be stagnant and regret seeing the sky open up, seeing New Jerusalem, which is our original sky, that's opening up. The only thing God has to do is flick the switch. I mean, it's the most simplest, logical, realistic, literal thing that God needs to do, is just flick the switch. Everything else, I'm glad to say. I'm glad to let the elite know what their plan is, and I'm happy to I'm happy for them to hold on. I'll be happy to tell the elite everything that God's gonna do, which is flick the switch. That's it. Just flick the switch. That's pretty much the one thing God has to do physically that I'm banking on, is to flick the switch. Everything else is, well, it's about telling the elite what they're doing before they do it. It's about them knowing that I'm just a regular person, that all I do is read the Bible, and I see, and then I pay attention to what they're doing. I read between the lines, and the best part about it is knowing what they're going to do before they do it. Knowing that the entire world, that there's a script that they're writing, there's a timeline that they have, and they've had it for a long time. They know exactly the date when they're going to do every script. So last year, April 7th, 2018, they knew years in advance that Syria was going to, the script was to tell people that Syria gassed their own people. And then Trump to go over there on April 8th and bomb Syria. And then that was the beginning of all the wars and rumors of wars talk. Tremendously. So that was a script written by somebody in Hollywood, probably Rob Reiner, maybe Steve, somebody in there that writes scripts, and I predicted that it would happen, and that's exactly what happened. So that is my key of David. That's my ticket. My key was to say that before it happened. Now, oh my God, this is what I'm talking about. I can imagine how salty I would have been seeing that happen and not saying it, not putting a video up beforehand. I wouldn't have the upper hand the way I have right now if I didn't say that. And Justin backed me on it. So, like I said, Justin will be taken care of too, tremendously, him and his family, because he has had my back with that April 7th. How did he know? He didn't. It's a feeling you get. You don't even understand why. You just do it and say it. So that's my point. Justin didn't even truly know. He just had the feeling of, yeah, I believe that's going to happen. And that's exactly what happened. So I'm sure that he would have been salty too if he didn't say anything. So that goes back to the people now. Speak up. If you want to prepare your future for your... I mean, look, either way, I'm going to take care of everybody. But the ones that don't speak up, I mean, I don't know who you are. But I will know, even after, if I don't see anybody's video now, the elite have all of everybody's videos. So this is like a continuance of the Bible. Scripture is getting ready to be fulfilled. Bam, here we go. Moving on to the electronic Bible for the future. For other people, you know, whenever, whatever. Or it's just the end of the Bible prophecy and that's it. And we all go to another existence and wake up. Or we stay right here and heaven does come down on earth. But heaven is living your life the way that you want to. And sharing everybody, everything. The feeling of giving is going to be so much better. And the feeling of sharing. So get your request in now. And get your future locked down, solid. That way the elite